service is always in my nature. So making people happy is like, you know, I think of myself as a polite person and wanting to make people happy. So that's what I do. I try to get a 5-star review by doing a good job in making them happy, whether, you know, like I get along with people, so I love going over to their house or in front and just going and meeting people and fixing their car up and chatting and going and have lunch or dinner, whatever time it is when I'm done. That seems great to me.
Start by introducing yourself.
My name's Kevin. I have a company called Bay Area Auto Detailing. I've been in business since 2018.
Yeah.
And I had a partner in the beginning, and then so we started Bay Area Auto Detailing together in 2018. And at first we just sat in the Safeway parking lot going, well, how do we get our business, you know?
Like, how do you get going?
Yeah, how do you get going?
Yeah.
So, you know, the first week or two, we didn't do much, but then we signed up for a Yelp.
Oh, okay, smart.
You know, Yelp, and then
that probably like started leading to like getting some calls.
That seems to be working, but yet I'm going to be looking for more work now that summer's coming up.
Nice.
Yeah, so expanding. But for today, we're going to be doing this.
We have the 75 Porsche here, and we're doing the interior. You know, since this is like a barn find, it was in a guy's field. What are some of like the challenges that you have with like a interior of like something like this, like a barn find? I mean, like some of the carpets I feel like are salvageable. Like, is that like a...
They are, you know, because I don't know, it's probably hard to replace those.
Yeah.
And so...
Costs a lot.
You know, and what I find is setting someone's expectations along what they should expect when I get done. And so I like to do that so they're not expecting brand new carpets, especially in a case like this.
Oh, yeah.
Which kind of actually makes the job easier because you can have a 7-year-old car and it's kind of tore up. But
yeah, like stains and things like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure like customers probably think like, oh, they can remove all the stains.
Yeah, they do. They always think they're the stains.
But like stains are
and
stained.
I'm like, I don't know what they are, so I don't know if I can remove it 100%. And they just look at me like, how come you don't know that you can, you know, take it out? Like,
yeah.
And I'm like, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's like different chemicals or whatever was poured on it. Yeah. I mean, if it was bleach, you're not gonna change the color of bleach.
You're a roofing contractor and those are tar down there.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So anyway, sometimes this is easier because you're not expecting it to come back perfect.
No,
so
definitely not.
Sometimes I find that this is actually easier to do
than newer cars.
Yeah, because my goal is to make you happy.
Yeah.
You know, clean the car. I clean the car, but really my goal is just to make you happy.
Yep.
So, and I do it by cleaning your car.
Yeah.
So on this one, you know, what I'm going to do is just get the any personal items out of the car first.
Yep.
Or any garbage. Sometimes I can't tell the difference, so I save everything. And
well, nothing in there is. You can toss anything in there.
I thought I saw like a dog collar in there or something.
No dog. That's not my dog collar.
Okay, all right. So, yeah, so I'm just gonna take everything out, and then looks like there's some leaves in there. We're gonna take the blower and blow as much as I can out. I blow it out, and a lot of times people look at me funny when I'm using the blower, like, what? He's just making a bigger mess, right?
Yeah.
But in reality, I got to clean the whole interior. I've got to vacuum it. I've got to wipe it down, and then I've got to put dressing on it. So that's minimum 3 more times through the whole interior. I'm not making a bigger mess. I'm getting rid of any loose dust and dirt that's going to make a mess while I'm cleaning it up. And I can get a majority, I get like 90% of the dirt out without having it run through my vacuum. Not that it's an $80, $90 vacuum, but
yeah,
it's you know, I don't want to go buy them every day and be emptying them all the time, but it gets it out faster. And vacuuming, I always find that, you know, if I see something gets stuck to the carpet, you know, my human tendency is just to keep going over it and over it until it comes up.
Yeah.
And it's a waste of time. I don't want a bunch of dirt in here wasting my time vacuuming because it's a much slower process than the blower. And like you say, it does get all the behind the nooks and crannies and out of vents and places I can't reach with this. And so I feel that overall it saves me like half the time it would take if I didn't have it. Something like that. Yeah.
So then blow, vacuum,
yeah.
And then you wipe.
Then I wipe, and then I dress.
And then you dress.
Yeah, there's a wiping that's like a degreaser that gets most of the dirt off, and then you're going to be using the stuff that is like that white stuff that you put on the car. Everyone uses it to make their dark leather Armor All. The dressing is like Armor All, only it's better quality.
But you don't want to do that too soon if it's really dusty because then it creates mud.
That's right. Yeah.
Creates mud.
Yeah. So in the end, that's the last step, is to put that on. And right before that is the degreaser that does most of the cleaning. Because they say that the dressing's a cleaner, but it doesn't clean like the stuff that I use prior to it. That's a degreaser and a cleaner. That's
so then, when you're detailing a car, how much is most of the time spent like blowing and vacuuming?
Yeah, blowing and vacuum is the most time, and then brushing too, because I do incorporate the power brush and a hand brush. That if there's dirt or stuff, you've got to break it off the vinyl, because you can dress something, and it's not, if there's some kind of stain or something stuck to the vinyl, it's still going to be there when you're done dressing underneath it. So you got to get that off first. So you got to clean it, and that's after you've blown it, vacuumed it, blown it. And then I do the doors, the dash with the cleaner. And after I've cleaned it all, I can look down and I can see that the carpets have more stuff that's fallen off or come out. So I blow it out real quickly, and it doesn't make it dirty all over, because I'm not done with the interior anyway. So I get the major stuff out and I can see straight. And then I clean carpets and seats of any stains after I've done the doors and the two consoles, the center and the dashboard console. This car is the only, it's small. It should be a quick, easy car, but it's not, because it's been sitting out in the field and the dust has gone under everything and into everything. So it's gotten stuck way back there. We got to get it all out. And then leather takes a little bit longer than your plastic vinyl that come in your economy cars. Those are great. I love it when I have all vinyl, all cheap. It's very easy, but.
The cheaper the seats.
The cheaper the seats they're pretty easy to clean if they're all vinyl. Yeah, the people that the best leather is from Germany, I find, and I guess I haven't done too many Bentleys but English, but the best leather, the best to clean is the Mercedes-Benz leather. That stuff is great.
Is it?
It could be 30 or 40 years old and it cleans right up, and it doesn't. If you got a Ford a few years old, you got to be very careful that you don't crack the seat with drying it out, and then it just actually splitting apart on you.
Yeah.
I mean, because after 4 or 5 years, the American leathers, for the most part, we're not talking top of the line Cadillac or Lincoln, but just the other stuff is you got to be careful with.
My philosophy with like cars and motorcycles, I haven't been working on cars and motorcycles for a super long time. I wasn't interested in like motorcycles and building motorcycles until probably about like 5 years ago. And my philosophy has always been learn by doing.
Right.
But I know specifically for like exterior detailing, that could be kind of dangerous because you could burn the paint after doing some research.
Right.
Is that like a similar thing with interior?
Well, if the interiors are pretty safe. Just don't leave. The rule of thumb is you just do an area, small, one area at a time, and spray products onto your rag instead of spraying all over, the car.
Oh, that's good.
And then going from there.
All right. So at what point do you say, what, this is enough cleaning?
So
this car is done.
So my standard is, go through, do the. Because I know I have to do all the process. Even on a clean car, I got to kind of go through all my processes still, even because they're paying for a complete detail, right?
Yeah.
I can't just go, this is a clean car, blow it out once, and then just take some dressing and go over the vinyl. No, I've got to do the whole thing. So I've got to do the blow, and then do the seats with the Enviro, everything with the Enviro, and then I go through with the dressing. So maybe I only have to go through once, and then when it looks good, if I've gone through it once with everything. Looks really good. I don't see any marks that I could pick up, any lint, dirt, or stains that I know I could get that are just sitting there going, "Hey, you missed me. Oh, I see you now. I'm not done then. I got to fix those other spots that I see."
Yeah.
Because I know I can fix those spots. If it's something that I can't fix and it's another whole level process, then I have to tell them about it and see if they want to do it then or some other time.
Yeah. Essentially, you get to the end where you feel like your car's clean. Then you essentially clean it one more time to see if there's any other.
Well, not exactly, but I don't go through the whole process again. I just give it a review to make sure I didn't miss anything, and that you have to kind of stand back and look at it from a distance, and something will become more clear to you, and then look at everything up close. Then I know, it's pretty. If I know if he looks everywhere, it doesn't matter. I go to my car and come back. He's not going to say anything to me, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hoping for. So I try to get it to where I said I was going to get it, and I explained to him that level, so to meet his expectations.
Why do you detail cars? Like I was thinking,
dirty.
but like, why choose this career over like?
That's a good question. Now, sometimes I've asked myself, why did I make any real decisions? Or did everything just come at me, and then I was forced to make a decision? And like, it's like, these big decisions you make in life. Did you plan it? Is that was your goal? End goal? I'm not one of really those type of guys.
Yeah.
So Paul, kept asking me to go detailing, and finally I just said, okay, I should go with this guy. I need some money, and it's in between jobs or careers or whatever. And it wasn't like I thought it was hard work. It was like fun to me. It was like, I saw an opportunity to have my own business without any barriers to entry, to start up your own business. Probably takes like $1,000 plus a good car or a van. That's not a lot. There's no special licensing required or insurance, although it's good to have both. And it's a skill you can pick up if you like cars. It's probably easier. I love cars.
Yeah.
So to me, making cars cool and being around cars, it doesn't matter that I'm cleaning them. I still get to be around them. I don't know. I love cars.
Love that.
So basically, that's how I got into this. And
what about like the people aspect? Has that like also driven you too?
That's a very good question. Ever since I have a marketing degree from San Diego State, and that's fine and dandy, but in '83 when I graduated, we were in middle of recession, so I started waiting on tables and became service orientated. And so service is kind of in my nature. Here I am, service. So making people happy, it's like, I think of myself as a polite person and wanting to make people happy. So that's what I do. I try to get a 5-star review, and by doing a good job and making them happy, it works out for me. So
yeah.
I'm successful at this it doesn't seem like I'm trying that hard.
It doesn't feel like a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's right.
It feels like very natural to you.
Yeah. Like
Makes sense.
I get along with people, so I love going over to their house or in front and just going and meeting people and fixing their car up and chatting and going and have lunch or dinner, whatever time it is when I'm done. It seems great to me.